Hi, welcome back to our program at Care Connect Clinics. And my name is Janet Adenusi. In this program, I'll be talking to you about pregnancy, children, family members, and domestic violence. Sorry for my voice. Okay. In our previous video, we've been talking about domestic violence against women, how to recognize the patterns of domestic violence, the signs of domestic violence are not just men that abuse women, women abuse men as well. So, and I also highlighted and discussed thoroughly how anger is the genesis of domestic violence. So on this video, I'll be talking about the pregnancy of the children and family members and domestic violence. And I want you to know that sometimes domestic violence begin or increase during pregnancy, and domestic violence put your health and the baby's health at risk. And the danger continues after the baby is born. And even if your baby isn't abused, I want you to know that your baby is a victim because you are the parent, the guardian of the baby. So simply because your baby witnessed the domestic violence, it can be harmful. And also if your baby doesn't experience or witness, or your child or children doesn't experience or witness this domestic violence, if you are a victim of domestic violence, your children, your child, your baby is also a victim. Why? Because you are the victim, and that child, that children, that baby depends on you. Therefore, children who grow up in an abusive home or relationship are more likely to be abused as well and have behavior problems. And it's dangerous because having children in that vicinity, in that environment, it's very, very, very dangerous. It brings a negative upbringing for these children than the other children that are not witnessing or being in a domestic violence relationship. And also as an adult, they are more likely to become abusers. So when these children grow up, they are more likely to become an abuser. Why? Because they grew up in an abusive home, in an abusive relationship, and they are more likely to abuse other people as well. And they can be bullied at schools or anywhere they found themselves. And also they will think that, abusing people, bullying people is normal. Why? Because their parents, one of the parents do engage in domestic violence, and one is the victim of that domestic violence. So I implore you, please, if you're in a domestic violence relationship, seek help. We're here to listen to you. We're here to support you. We're here to empower you. We'll counsel you. We'll help you with any therapeutic relationships that you are needing right now. And also we could also help you in psychoeducating you as well, so that you can empower other women who are victims like you. And together we can bring a change in this world of domestic violence against women. And also you might worry that, telling the truth, raising your voice, people will think, oh, but I thought they're good partners. I thought they love themselves. Yes, many women nowadays, in recent days, they enjoy, having good makeup on so that, we look good outside, but yet behind closed door, they have many disasters going on. And this is a shame because that's prevented many women from speaking up, because what they show to the world is different from what is going on behind closed door and at home. So I don't want you to worry about that. We understand you. We understand where you're coming from. We have empathy on you, and we want to know that we're going to work with you in that journey. Please speak up. Domestic violence is no, no, no. And I also want you to know that not just women experience domestic violence, men do experience domestic violence as well. However, majority of the victims that we have out there are women nationwide in the community as well. So I'm empowering you. Please speak up. save yourself, save your family, save your children, save the baby, save that unborn baby. And also some would think, oh, if they do raise their voice, that it might break up their family relationship. And due to that, they don't want to break that circle of the family relationship that they have. But please seek help. Your voice, help your family, help yourself, help your spouse as well. If it's your husband abusing you, help him. When you raise your voice, it's going to be helped as well. So please do. And also, seeking help is the best way to protect yourself and every loved ones around you. So how do you break the cycle? If you are in an abusive situation, you might recognize this pattern. Your abusers threaten you violently most of the time, or your abuser strikes when no one is watching. Obviously, domestic violence do happen behind closed doors. Only people that are so close to recognizing this kind of abuse will know. And also people that can spot what is, not right, what is not the norm, can spot this as well. And also your abuser will always apologize and promise to change and gifts in exchange of the hurt they have caused you. And the cycle continues to repeat itself. Also, I want you to know that in domestic violence relationship, where we have children tends to learn the norms, values, and the cultures of the society in their primary socialization. And where does primary socialization start from? It starts from home, the family units. So please be careful. If you are in a domestic violence relationship, seek help. When children are involved, we have multiple victims. Children are also victims in domestic violence relationship. They can grow up to become an abuser. Why? Because that is the norm they learn in their primary socialization, which is the family unit. That is the values they learn in their primary socialization, which is the family unit, and the culture they're subjected to believe it's the right thing to do. Please, I applaud you. I'm begging you, seek help. When you have children involved, it becomes more complicated. Seek help in time. Also, I want you to know that you may wonder if the abuse is your fault. No, it's not your fault. They made you to believe that. It's a common point for confusion among survivors, victims of domestic violence. So please, the abuse is not your fault, and don't take it difficult on yourself to seek help. And the longer you stay in an abusive relationship, the greater the physical and the emotional toll you have. And this is not good. It impacts your physical health, your mental health, your social health, and your spiritual health as well. So you might become depressed and anxious, and you might begin to doubt your ability to take care of yourself. You might also feel helpless or paralyzed or not motivated to speak up because you just felt maybe more pain will be out there than what you experienced behind closed door. It shouldn't be that. So domestic violence should not be accommodated or embraced in any form. So please speak up. Don't take the blame. No, don't take the blame. You may not be ready to seek help because you believe you are at least partially, able to get the blame, or no one will blame you. We're not here to condemn you. No one will be out there to condemn you because you're a victim of domestic violence. So please take away that belief that you will be at least partially be blamed for the abuse that you're being subjected to in your relationship. And why is this? The reason includes that your partner blames you for the violence, so you believe people out there will blame you for the violence. No, that you're subjected to. No, it shouldn't be, and it wouldn't be. Abusive partners rarely take responsibility for their actions. So therefore, people out there would not blame you. We're not the abusive partners. People out there are not the abusive partners that have been abusing you and make you to look as if you are alone to suffer this because you deserved it. You don't deserve it. Also, your partner only exhibits abusive behavior with you. Abusers are often concerned with outward appearances and may appear charming and stable to those outside of your relationship. And this may cause you to believe that his or her actions can only be explained by something you have done. Oh, you did this, you did that, maybe I've done wrong, maybe I've upset him or her. No, you didn't upset him, you didn't upset her. It's just because they are abusers. And also, as therapists and healthcare professionals, we'll see you alone or with your partners haven't dictated a problem, which is the domestic violence that you're experiencing, then if you're in that category, don't worry. If you have not told your healthcare professional that you're experiencing domestic violence, don't worry. We will help you. We understand that it could be very hard to come out and sometimes to even prove why, because what people see outside is different from what they see, what is going on behind closed door. Obviously, they don't live with you. I don't live with you. But that's how an abusive relationship is. People don't see it sometimes, and most times people don't see it. So please, if you're in a domestic violence relationship, please seek help and seek help at the right time early. And also, if you are in that kind of an abusive relationship, I want you to know that if you don't seek help early, you could have multiple mental health issues. Like I've mentioned before, depression. Sometimes people have psychosis. Sometimes people have many diagnoses that are not even psychosis, but that are non-psychosis, such as the depression I mentioned, such as mood disorder, such as bipolar, and sometimes even schizophrenia as well. Many issues like that do prompt up when people suffer in domestic violence. And we have many, many, many clients and patients who have psychosis and non-psychosis illness due to being in an abusive relationship. And also, for example, survivors of intimate partners' violence may develop symptoms that resemble chronic disorders such as irritable bowel syndrome, or what we call fibromyalgia. And also, exposure to intimate partner violence also increase your risk of mental health, like I've explained earlier. Please, 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 I'm begging you, seek help early. And I know by you seeking help, you will have solution to your problem. Because if you don't seek help early, if you don't raise your voice, I'm telling you, you will continue to be the victim, and it can result to death. Domestic violence results to many, many deaths in families. Also, you have acted out verbally or physically against your abuser, like yelling or pushing or hitting your partner during conflict. You may worry that you are abusive as well, and you may be, disciplined for that. But we all understand that it is much more likely that you acted in self-defense or intense emotional distress. It does happen, because when people in domestic violence have encounters of being abused with weapons, such as throwing of weapons to them, such as hitting them, slapping them, there's what we call the fight or flight. The first thing that will raise into your mind is, do you want to flight? Like, do you want to get out of that situation, or do you want to defend yourself by fighting your abuser? So we understand that we are very skilled in that. So don't worry, we're not going to judge you. We're not judgmental. We are here as empathetic professionals who will be able to support you just through this journey, and don't wallow in pain alone. Also, your abuser may use such incidents to manipulate you, describe them as proof that you are also an abusive partner. Don't worry, we understand those tactics of abusers and those that domestically abuse their wives, partners, girlfriends. And also, if a woman who is an abuser and your husband is the victim, we understand those techniques that go on behind closed doors. So if you are having trouble identifying what's happening, take a step back and look at larger patterns in your relationship. Then reveal the signs of domestic violence in an abusive relationship. The person who routinely uses these behaviors is the abuser. They make the victim look as if they are always at fault. They deserve the treatment. No, you don't deserve the treatment. The person on the receiving end is being abused. You are the victim. Seek help. In my next video, I'll be unveiling other knowledgeable things that will make you understand more on domestic violence. So please subscribe so that you can get her notification when we upload new video for you out there. You are not alone. Speak up.